What's up everyone, 94 here. I've been using iOS 14, WatchOS 7, and macOS Big Sur for the past week now. There's a lot of new features that I like, and they've been all pretty stable betas, but there's a couple of things I would like to see different or that need to be fixed in future updates. Let's get to it. iOS 14 so far has been a stable beta. I haven't had too many issues with it. I've really liked all the new features that they have added. The couple things I've noticed that are pretty weird or buggy is messages for me that delivered and read on the latest text are like really enlarged. It's really weird. Then the touchback feature with the accessibility where you can double tap, have like Siri or Google Assistant, whatever you may want added. Then triple tap, I have camera. Those are triggered pretty easily. Sometimes I'm not even tapping and it would just pop up, so it's kind of interesting to see how that's working. Hopefully within the next couple of beta updates they can solve that so it's more reliable, so it's not accidentally triggering at all. A couple of the minor changes I noticed that I wasn't too big of a fan of. When you're in the standard widget screen all the way to the left, that you now don't have the edit button at the bottom. Instead, you have to hold the screen either on there or on a separate screen and swipe over to it, and then you can adjust the widgets from there. I really wish they would still have the edit button at the bottom, just as kind of a convenient thing. I do think having both would be the kind of the best of both worlds. At first, it took me a little bit because I kept swiping down and I didn't see an edit button, so I thought there was something buggy with it. And then I realized you just have to hold it and swipe to the side. I understand it because of the new widget style isn't like it was before, so you can customize kind of where things are, but I would like that edit button down at the bottom again. Another feature I'd like to have a little bit more added to it is the app library. When you go into the category, I have a couple that are really large, so you kind of have to scroll through everything, which is fine, but going back out of it, you can either swipe up, but I always forget about that because my natural instinct is to just swipe back like I do with everything else, but you can't do that at all. You either have to hit like a standard blank spot on the screen or swipe up. I wish they would just add that swipe back feature. I think that'd be nicer to have so you're not, because it's just natural instinct to swipe back. The things with iOS 14 that I've really liked though is those widgets and the app library. The app library just makes everything feel so clean and neat and organized. Rather than having all these different folders all over the place on your screen, now they're just all nicely tucked away. They're organized, it looks neat. They're not like all over the place, so it's a really nice feature that they added and I'm really starting to like it a lot and use it a lot. Then widgets. Widgets, I mainly use the weather app and the battery. The weather app widget is by far my favorite. I really like what they've done with the weather app. It reminds me of something that Apple recently bought lately. It's dark sky. There's starting to become some more similarities with dark sky and the things that you have within the weather app, and I'm really starting to like it. I really hope they incorporate more from dark sky into the standard Apple weather app because it is starting to get really good, and that widget gives you a lot of detailed information. Like when it starts to rain, it will give you the intensity of that rain throughout the day, and I really like that because it's just a nice little convenient creature comfort just to kind of see exactly how that rain's going to go, but it's giving you that time by time information. On iOS 14, I haven't noticed any performance or battery decreases, which can happen at times with the betas, and they've done a really good job with this. It's a developer beta, so I was expecting it to be kind of buggy with some issues, but there really hasn't been any. It's been a very stable beta, and I'm really happy about that, and I hope that continues. What I'm sort of the most disappointed about, or just kind of upset, is WatchOS. It's been a good beta, but the features haven't been to what I expected them to be. The new complications are really nice, and I like that you can give more detailed, personalized face watch, and I've done that with a couple. But the hand washing detection, I have not gotten to work. I washed my hands for a solid minute, just trying to get it to like kick in and recognize I was washing my hands. I don't know if it's a certain hand motion I have to do. I feel like I tried everything. I've done it multiple times, and I just cannot get it working. The other thing that I wish would have given you more information is the sleep tracking. So the sleep tracking just gives you the ability to make a schedule. So I have mine, I think, set for like 11 p.m. and right around 7:30 a.m. is kind of that sleep schedule I have. I feel like keeping it, but that's what I had set. So when I have the sleep turned on, even if I'm not wearing the watch, at that time, if it doesn't sense that the watch is moving, it starts tracking sleep. And it's really weird because I'm not even wearing it. You'd think like they'd also include heart rate, so it needs to detect if your heart rate's there to actually make sure you're wearing it. But it doesn't seem that way. So I've had multiple times where I've gone into the health app to look at the sleep just to see if it did this. And for 6 out of the 7 days, it did. I only wore it about twice to bed, and it just gave me essentially the time, accurately the time I went to sleep and the time I woke up. But those other like 6 times, I wasn't wearing it, and it was tracking me, and each time it stopped at 7:30 a.m. when I had it set for me to wake up. And it didn't recognize that I was still sleeping at all. So I hope that they add some more to this and maybe track sleep stages. I know they may have not thought this was too accurate, so that's why they're not doing it, which makes sense because Apple tends to be very precise on things and wants things to work exactly the way they want. So if sleep stages weren't working too well, they want to add it. You would think that they would also be using the heart rate to gauge if you are sleeping or not. So that way you don't have these weird times when you're not even wearing it, but it says you're sleeping, or even when you are wearing it, one of the days it said I was sleeping, even though I was just sitting at my desk doing things. It thought I was sleeping because I wasn't really moving around too much. So I really want them to improve this feature within future betas. It is a beta, so it can get better. This is the first time they've implemented, so I'm excited to see where they can take this in the future. Using macOS Big Sur has been fantastic for me. I've had no issues at all, not with anything, apps closing, performance, battery, anything at all. I've had 0 bugs from what I can tell. I've been using the control center a lot. I really like that. Same with the new widgets on there. I think that's really nice to have. One thing I've started to, I kind of like, kind of don't, is the new app icons. Some of them they're starting to grow on me. Some of them I would change probably to like the standard just iPhone one, but I do like that it's a little bit different. Although the battery one, it needs to change really badly. It's just not good. If you look at it here, it doesn't look good at all. In the end, Apple has done a really good job with these betas. I'm impressed that all of the ones I have been stable. There's obviously a couple things they can improve upon, but it's really impressive that none of them really have been that buggy or given me too many issues. I am really excited to see the increase that Apple is going to give us here with future beta updates, and I'm really excited to see how macOS Big Sur performs on those Apple Silicon chips later in the year. It'll be definitely something to check out. Until the next one, stay safe. Have a good one. See you then.